Do you know what the fastest growing question on Google is among professional women? How to change careers with artificial intelligence. This is no coincidence. It's a clear sign that something profound is happening in the job market, and that many women are beginning to realize that continuing on automatic can be dangerous. And we're not talking about a distant threat. AI is already rewriting the rules of the game in real time. Companies are reducing teams, automating tasks, replacing entire functions with tools. But here's the twist. While many jobs are disappearing, others are being created at an accelerated rate, and with salaries well above the average. What differentiates who will prosper from who will be left behind is not how much you know about technology. It's how willing you are to see what's changing and move fast. And that's what this video talks about. Here, you won't hear generic predictions or alarmist speeches. What I will show you are 3 concrete career paths with artificial intelligence that are growing right now, and that you can follow even if you've never worked in IT or consider yourself good with technology. Because these new professions do not require an expensive diploma or years of training. They require something you probably already have: critical sense, creativity, communication skills, strategic vision, and thirst for evolution. Maybe you're stuck in a professional routine that no longer makes sense. Maybe you're feeling like what you do today is becoming obsolete, even though no one is saying it directly. Or maybe you're just curious. You want to understand what's going on, why everyone is talking about AI, and what you can do with it, realistically. Whatever your case, I want to make one thing clear right at the beginning. Artificial intelligence does not need to be a threat. For those who know how to use it, it is the greatest growth lever of our generation. And when I talk about growth, I'm not just talking about climbing the career ladder. I'm talking about freedom of time, financial independence, that you finally feel like you're creating something with purpose, that no longer depends on your boss's luck or insecurity, the economy, or the next technology. So, if you're ready to see what's coming clearly and discover where the real opportunities lie for women in this new market, stay with me until the end. Because the 3 careers I'm going to show you today could be the beginning of a new professional phase for you. And yes, you can start now. Now let's face reality head on. Artificial intelligence isn't just transforming the world of technology. It's redefining what it means to be a valued professional in the 21st century. And the impact of this has been especially strong on women. Not because we are less capable, quite the opposite, but because many of the roles that have historically been held by women are among the most vulnerable to automation. We are talking about positions such as administrative assistant, receptionist, customer service operator, marketing analyst, teacher, writer, recruiter, social media. These functions have something in common. They are based on language, repetition, organization, simple decision-making. Exactly the kind of tasks that AI is learning to perform with frightening efficiency. And this is not theory. It's a silent movement, and fast. In the United States, in the last 2 years alone, more than 30% of medium and large companies have started testing AI tools to partially or completely replace operational and customer service teams. Some of these companies have reported cost reductions of up to 70% with process automation. And it doesn't stop there. What was previously restricted to large corporations is now within the reach of small businesses, freelancers, and even self-employed professionals. Today, anyone with an internet connection can use tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Runway, Copy AI, Canva AI, i.e., the Technology that threatens to replace jobs is also being used by competitors to become more productive, faster, and cheaper. And the burning question is, if other people are using AI to do what you do, what stops you from being replaced too? This is the kind of discomfort that no one likes to feel. But it is precisely this discomfort that can bring about change. Because when you understand what's happening, you stop looking at AI with fear and start seeing opportunity. But let's be honest, it's not easy to make decisions in the midst of chaos. Maybe you're in a job you don't like, but it pays the bills. Maybe you're coming back from maternity leave and feeling out of date. Or maybe you're trying to start a business and are frustrated by seeing other people growing much faster, using tools that you don't even know how to work yet. The truth is that many women are exhausted, overwhelmed, and no time to think about the future. And AI, which is supposed to help, only seems to speed everything up. And this is where the biggest problem of all comes in: the lack of accessible and reliable information. Because when you try to research artificial intelligence, what you find are technical tutorials, complicated videos, terms in English that sound like another language. You feel like you need a translator just to understand what's going on. And this is where the game needs to turn. Because artificial intelligence is not the enemy of women. It only seems distant because no one is explaining this universe in a simple, direct, and strategic way. Looking at our realities, our challenges, our priorities. While most content focuses on technology for technology's sake, here we're going to talk about what really matters. How you can use artificial intelligence to build a safer, more profitable, and freer career. But to do that, you first need to understand the game being played. Most companies won't warn you that your role is at risk. They will simply automate, outsource, or replace, and you won't realize until it's too late. The market doesn't feel sorry for those who don't update themselves, but he also rewards those who act quickly. Today, knowing how to use AI is not a differentiator. It's a question of professional survival. But here's some good news. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to become a programmer. You don't need to study for years. You just need to know where the opportunities are and how to take the first steps strategically. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you from now on. In the next block, you will discover 3 AI careers that are growing in the American market with high demand, good salaries, and an important detail. They value precisely the skills that many women already have, and which are now becoming indispensable in the new market. If you've stayed this far, this already shows that you're committed to your evolution. And I can guarantee you, what comes next could change the way you see your career. So let's get straight to the point. If artificial intelligence is changing everything, and if your current job is at risk or no longer makes sense for you, the question now is, what is my place in this new market? And to answer that, I will now introduce you to 3 careers that are on the rise with AI, and that are not only possible for women like you, but that they need your way of thinking, your sensitivity, your strategic and creative vision. These professions are growing rapidly. They are new, still little explored, and for this reason, they offer the greatest opportunities today. Let's go together, one by one. I will explain to you what each professional does, why this career is growing, how much you can earn, and of course, how you can get started. 1. Prompt engineer, the specialist in intelligent commands for AI. Let's start with a career that almost no one knows about, but that is behind practically everything involving artificial intelligence today: the prompt specialist. If you've ever used ChatGPT, You know that the quality of the response depends on the question you ask, right? That's exactly what this professional does. She has mastered the art of talking to AI to generate incredible results. But look, this goes way beyond typing anything. Being a prompt engineer means knowing how to guide AI with clarity, creativity, intention, and strategy. It's about making the tool understand what you want, even if you're not even sure at first. Want an example? Imagine that a company needs to create 30 content ideas for social media. If she asks ChatGPT anyway, she will receive a generic list. But if a prompt specialist makes this request, she knows how to contextualize, adjust the tone, organize the format, indicate the target audience, and even suggest variations by channel. The result: a professional delivery, ready to use. And this applies to everything: marketing campaigns, text creation, data analysis, summaries, product ideas, video, scripts. Companies are looking for this type of skill because they know that AI only works well when it is well guided. And you know what's best. You don't need to know how to program. You need to know how to think, communicate, and experiment. Things you probably already do in your everyday life. Today, there are already prompt engineer positions in the United States paying from $80,000 to $150,000 per year. And there are many other professionals starting out as freelancers, selling ready-made prompt packages, offering mentoring, or working as consultants. How to start? You can open ChatGPT today and start practicing. Just like that. Create challenges. Simulate customer requests. Try to make the AI improve your own ideas. You can also study prompt techniques, join communities, and most importantly, build a portfolio with real results. This career is perfect for those who have curiosity, logical reasoning, good communication, and a certain boldness to test ideas. It's not about being perfect. It's about learning quickly and applying. 2. AI content strategist. The content strategist with artificial intelligence. Now let's move on to a career that is all about creativity, marketing, and planning. If you like social networks, communication, digital influence, or even want to undertake a digital business, this is a powerful opportunity. AI content strategist. But be careful. We are not talking about someone who simply generates automatic texts with AI. The strategist is the professional who uses artificial intelligence to research, plan, test, and optimize content much faster and with more impact. She understands what the public wants, translates that into creative ideas, and uses tools like ChatGPT, Canva AI, Copy AI, Pictory, Descript, Notion AI to produce content that really engages. This professional is increasingly hired by marketing agencies, digital businesses, specialists who sell online courses, infoproducers and creators, startups that need to scale quickly. And the best thing is that you can work from wherever you want. As a freelancer, consultant, or even building your own content brand. Salaries vary a lot, but to give you an idea, today, a strategist with good delivery can charge between $2,000 and $5,000 per month in fixed contracts, in addition to launching, consulting, mentoring. And can you start from scratch? Yes, it does. You can start by studying the structure of the content you already consume. Try planning a month of content with the help of ChatGPT. Use Canva to create visuals. Take data and transform it into posts. Document all of this as a portfolio. Show your reasoning. It shows that you know what you are doing. If you like strategy, organization, and creativity, this career is for you. You don't need to be an influencer. You need to think like one. 3. AI Automation Consultant. The AI Automation Consultant. Now let's move on to one of the most powerful and least explored careers at the moment. AI Automation Consultant. This is the woman who solves it. She enters a business, understands the processes, and shows how to use tools with artificial intelligence to automate what no one else wants to do manually. I'm talking about things like reply to messages automatically, create personalized email sending systems, organize leads and contacts with AI, automate meetings, scheduling, generate reports, content, proposals, and even connect tools to each other, creating intelligent flows. She does all this without programming, using no-code platforms like Zapier, Make, Airtable, Notion, and of course, ChatGPT integrated into these systems. And the most interesting thing, there are a lot of businesses that need this right now. Small businesses, influencers, content producers, coaches, mentors, service providers. Everyone wants to work less, deliver more and scale, but they don't know where to start. That's where automation consultancy comes in. She listens, analyzes, designs the flow, and implements it. And he charges well for it. In the United States, this professional can charge $80 to $200 per hour. And with 3 to 5 clients per month, you are already building a solid, scalable, and independent income. How to start? First, automate your own routine. Use ChatGPT to generate your content. Set up a tool to organize your emails or contacts. Then document this and offer it as an example. You can offer a pilot service to someone close to you, create case studies, and grow step by step. The most important thing is, understand that your value lies in the solution, not the technique. This career is for those who are practical, organized, and want freedom of time, space, and control over their own lives. These 3 careers have something very important in common. They were made for this new world, but they were also made for women who are ready to step out of passivity and take the lead. You don't need to wait for someone to give you a chance. You can create that chance. You can start with what you have, with what you know now, and evolve as you go. And more than a professional path, this is a choice of mentality. While many people are still paralyzed, trying to understand what is happening, you can be 2, 3, 5 steps ahead. In the next block, I'll show you why acting now is so important and what can happen if you just keep waiting. Shall we continue? By now, you have understood the transformation that artificial intelligence is causing in the market. Have you seen how some careers are disappearing and how new opportunities are emerging with the potential for freedom, income, and real growth? But now comes the most critical part of this conversation, the part that many people ignore or leave for later: action. Because it's not enough to know what's changing. It's not enough to understand what's trending. And don't just watch this video until now. If you do nothing with this information, nothing changes. And that's what we need to talk about now: the time. Time is the most important factor in this game. And maybe you didn't realize it, but we are in a rare window of transition. We are living in a time where AI tools are now available, where there is still little competition in many areas, and where whoever stands now will come out ahead with a huge advantage. But this window won't last forever. Soon, the market will adjust. More professionals will specialize. Vacancies will become more demanding, and the space that is open today, especially for those just starting out, it will become more competitive, more technical, and more restricted. Therefore, I tell you clearly, this is the time to move, to get out of observation and into action. And here I'm not talking about dropping everything overnight, neither to make absurd investments nor to change your life in one click. I'm talking about take the first step with awareness, strategy, and courage. But maybe you're thinking, but can I do it? Do I have time? What if I'm not good enough? These doubts are normal. In fact, they are expected, because everything new creates insecurity. But let me tell you something. It is not the absence of fear that makes someone evolve. It is the decision to act even though I'm scared, not to wait for validation from others, not to get hung up on perfection, not to let doubt be stronger than will. You don't need to be ready. You need to be willing. And look, I know you've tried other things before. Maybe you've already taken courses, started projects, watched 1,000 videos on YouTube and still feel stuck. But this is where AI can be different, because she doesn't require you to start big. She does not require you to invest loads of money. She does not require you to have years of experience. It requires just one thing: let you begin. And now I want to show you what can happen if you don't start. If you decide to ignore this revolution, continue on automatic, waiting for the market to stop changing, you run the risk of becoming invisible, to see your profession empty, to compete with professionals who use AI to deliver twice as much in half the time, of depending on a system that doesn't care if you're ready or not. And that is painful to hear, I know. But it's more painful to experience this without having tried to prepare. On the other hand, if you decide to take a step today, no matter how small, you open a new door. You put your name in this new market. You show yourself that there is still time, that you have a choice, that you have power. Because it has. You have. And I'm not saying this to motivate you with pretty phrases. I'm talking because I've seen this happen to ordinary, real women like you. Women who started out scared, who had children, bills, a busy routine, lack of time. But they decided to give themselves a chance. And today they are experiencing something new. Not perfect, but possible. And if they could do it, why not you? You don't need to master everything now. Just need take the first step. And the first step is to decide. Decide that you won't let the AI scare you anymore. You will use her as an ally. You will learn, explore, test, apply. Your way, at your pace, with what you already have. And you might not even imagine it, but this decision could change everything. Because when you decide to act, you activate a different cycle. You begin to see opportunities that were previously overlooked. You begin to see value in your skills. You start to think more strategically. And the most beautiful, you inspire other women around you. Your evolution is not yours alone. She influences her family, her friends, her co-workers. You become an example, reference, and this is too powerful. So, if today you feel like you're ready to turn that key, stay with me until the end, because in the next block I'll show you how to turn all this into action. I will give you practical suggestions for next steps, accessible paths, and a plan for you to implement this week. Nothing theoretical, nothing generic. A real start made for women who want to experience the AI revolution with protagonism and freedom. Will we meet there? So let's recap calmly and conscientiously. Today, you not only learned about artificial intelligence, you had access to a new way of seeing your value in the professional world. A way to get out of automatic mode and start positioning yourself with vision, strategy, and freedom. We started by talking about the impact of AI on the market, about how so many professions, especially those dominated by women, are changing, being automated or simply disappearing. But we were not scared. We went further. Did you see that? Yes, the scenario is changing, but within this change there are very real opportunities for those who have the courage to act. You have discovered 3 careers: the prompt specialist, the AI content strategist, and the automation consultancy. 3 different paths with different profiles, but with something in common. They are all growing now. They all value what you already know. And most importantly, they can all be started by you, even if you've never worked in technology before. This video is not about a distant market, nor about unreachable professions. It's about you understanding that what brought you here doesn't need to limit you. You might learn something new. You can reinvent yourself. You can choose to evolve, even with fear, even with doubts, even with a tough routine. Because the question has never been whether you have time. The question is, where will you put your time from now on? I'm not here to say it's going to be easy. I'm here to tell you that it's possible, and more than possible, it is necessary. Because ignoring this change won't make it stop, and waiting for the right moment won't make him appear. Action comes before safety, choice comes before total clarity, and transformation begins when you stop waiting for permission and decide to move. So now, let me make you a direct invitation. Right here in the comments, which of the 3 careers you saw today caught your attention the most? And why do you think it makes sense for your reality? Also tell me, are you already using any AI tools in your daily life? Or are you still starting from scratch? I read all the comments. I really do. And they help me understand what content to create in the next videos, how to better help you, and which paths might make the most sense for our community. Yes, community, because this channel is more than videos and information. Here is a space for exchange, for strengthening, for collective construction. Women supporting women, sharing ideas, fears, advances, learning. And speaking of sharing, if this content made sense to you, send it to someone you love. You know, that friend who is discouraged with her work, that cousin who wants to start a business but doesn't know how, that colleague who is tired but has so much potential. Send this video. Because sometimes, what changes someone's path is just a new perspective at the right time. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Click subscribe now, turn on notifications, and follow me in the next videos. Because what you saw today is just the beginning. In the next content, I will show you step by step how to start applying what we talk about here. I will bring simple tutorials, show accessible tools, suggest study plans, indicate specialization paths. Everything your way, at your pace, but with direction. And more. I will share real stories of women who are already changing the game with AI. Women like you, with routine, with doubts, with fears, but with desire. And if you want to go further, there's a surprise coming. Soon, I will launch exclusive material with the first practical steps to get you started in one of these 3 careers. It will be free, direct, applicable, and if you're signed up, you'll be one of the first to receive it. So, to close, I want to remind you of something very important. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. And no one starts ready. But those who start with intention evolve quickly. Artificial intelligence doesn't have to be the end of your career. She could be the beginning of a new phase. You're not late. You are exactly where you needed to be to make that choice. And if you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step. Thank you for being with me in this video. Thank you for trusting you enough to keep listening until the end. And if no one told you this today, you are capable, you are valuable, and your future starts now. See you in the next video. Until then.